and welcome to Housing TV News at the top of the hour, coming to you from our studios here in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mary Agiobo. Our top stories. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu approves 1,000 forest guards for Oyo State. Federal government unveils revised gender policy for Agrifood Sector. Minister falls delay in Katsina housing project. And on the foreign scene, Israel captures strategic castle in Lebanon. Now the news in details. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the recruitment of 1,000 forest guards in Oyo State to strengthen security and improve surveillance in forest communities. The approval was disclosed during a federal government visit to communities in Oriire local government area following the abduction of pupils and teachers from several schools in the area. Officials said a special security unit has been directed to intensify rescue operations for the abducted victims, while requests for a military base in the area will be presented to the president for consideration. And now the federal government has unveiled a revised national gender policy aimed at promoting inclusion and strengthening food security across the country. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, said the policy would ensure fair access to agricultural resources, opportunities and decision-making for both men and women. The government also called on public and private sector stakeholders to integrate the policy into their programs to drive a more productive and sustainable agricultural sector. Still on the federal government and the Nigerian Independent System Operator NISO are working to address the persistent national grid failures affecting power supply across the country. Presidential Advisor on Power, Lanre Babalola, said greater operational discipline and effective resource management are critical to improving grid performance. NISO management reaffirmed its commitment to enhancing grid reliability and supporting efforts to build a more stable and resilient electricity sector. And now the Lagos State government and the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria have strengthened surveillance measures at the Murtala Muhammed International Airport to prevent the importation of Ebola. Health officials said the action followed recent outbreaks reported in parts of Africa, prompting heightened vigilance at Nigeria's international gateway. Authorities have directed airport personnel to strictly observe infection prevention protocols as part of efforts to protect travelers and the general public. And now the Federal Workers Forum has threatened to embark on an indefinite nationwide strike over rising insecurity and unresolved wage-related issues. The group accused the government of failing to address workers' welfare concerns, including outstanding allowances and arrears. It called for the payment of all outstanding entitlements and the implementation of a living wage to ease the impact of current economic challenges. We take a pause here, and up next are news stories from the beauty sector. Do stay with us.
Are you getting ready for another big one? The largest housing show in Africa. 2 decades of relentless exhibition and conference. The 20th edition of the Africa International Housing Show, happening from the 13th to 18th of July 2026 at the prestigious Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja, Nigeria. This premier event is Africa's largest housing and construction expo, attracting over 50,000 attendees in Africa and beyond, thereby giving room for developers, construction giants, financiers, home interiors, mortgage and microfinance banks, drawing from about 21 different countries of the world. Get ready to be part of history.
Watching Housing TV News at the top of the hour, and now to the beauty sector. The Minister for Housing and Urban Development, Murtala, has expressed concern over delays in the execution of the Renewed Hope Cities housing project in Katsina State. During an inspection of the project site, the minister warned the contractors who failed to meet the contractual obligations could face sanctions. He directed officials to review the status of all contracts and ensure projects are completed to the required standards for allocation to beneficiaries. Still on the youth sector, the Lagos State government has raised concern over Nigeria's growing housing shortage, warning that the effective deficit could approach 28 million units. Commissioner for Housing, Moruf Akinderu-Fatai, said the shortage is being driven by rapid urbanization, population growth, and the large number of substandard housing units across the country. He, however, noted that both the federal and state governments are implementing housing programs and partnerships aimed at expanding access to affordable shelter and supporting economic growth. And now to the foreign scene. At least 55 people have been reported dead following a devastating explosion in a village in Myanmar Shan's estate. Local sources said the blast destroyed homes, left dozens injured, and caused widespread panic among residents with children among the victims. Authorities are investigating the cause of the explosion as questions grow over safety conditions in the area. And finally, the Israeli military says it has captured the strategic Beaufort Castle in southern Lebanon as part of its expanding offensive against Hezbollah. Israel said the operation represents a major step in its security strategy of the fragile ceasefire in the region. And that's the much we can take on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. But before we go, let's take a recap of our top stories. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu approves 1,000 forest guards for Oyo State. Federal government unveils revised gender policy for Agrifood Sector. Minister falls delay in Katsina housing project. And on the foreign scene, Israel captures strategic castle in Lebanon. For more news on the housing sector, subscribe to Housing TV Africa on YouTube and follow Housing TV Africa on all social media platforms. Download the Housing TV Africa mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. You can also download the free TV app to follow our updates. I am Mary Agiobo. Bye for now.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts on Facebook, Housing TV Africa, on Twitter, Housing TV Africa, Instagram, Housing TV Africa. Join the conversation and keep up with latest housing updates.